There is a dangerous belief that intelligence protects you from losing money, that smart people make smart decisions, that knowledge guarantees safety, and that if someone loses everything, it must be because they didn't know enough. But the truth is far more uncomfortable, because every day, some of the smartest people in the world still lose money. Not small amounts, life-changing amounts. And the question is not how. The question is why. Because these are not careless people. They understand risk. They understand logic. They understand consequences. And yet, they still make the decision that destroys them. It doesn't happen suddenly. It begins quietly, with confidence. Confidence built from being right before. Confidence built from past success. Confidence built from intelligence. Because intelligence creates belief. And belief creates certainty. But certainty is where the danger begins. Because the moment you become certain, you stop questioning yourself. You stop seeing risk. You stop seeing uncertainty. You stop seeing reality clearly. And slowly, without realizing it, you begin to trust your mind more than the market. This is where smart people become vulnerable. Not because they don't know, but because they believe they know. They analyze more. They think deeper. They build stronger reasons. They convince themselves. And when the moment comes to make a decision, it feels correct. Not emotional, not impulsive, logical, justified, safe. And that's why they take the trade, or make the investment, or risk the money. Because in their mind, it makes sense. But the market doesn't reward intelligence. It rewards discipline. And discipline is different. Discipline doesn't care how smart you are. It cares how controlled you are. Because the greatest threat to smart people is not ignorance. It's overconfidence. Overconfidence doesn't feel dangerous. It feels earned. It feels deserved. It feels like progress until it isn't. Because when the decision goes wrong, it doesn't just damage the account. It damages the identity. Because now, the smart person has to face something unfamiliar. Being wrong is harder to accept when you believe you're right. So instead of accepting the loss, they explain it. They justify it. They hold longer. They wait. Not because it's logical, because it's personal. Because closing the trade means accepting reality, and reality doesn't match their belief. So they wait for the market to prove them right. But the market doesn't care about belief. It moves independently, without emotion, without sympathy, without hesitation. And slowly, the loss grows. At first, it's manageable, then uncomfortable, then painful, and then it becomes real. And in that moment, the smartest person in the room realizes something devastating. They didn't lose because they weren't smart enough. They lost because they were human. Because intelligence cannot protect you from emotion. It cannot protect you from fear. It cannot protect you from hope. And hope is the most dangerous emotion in money. Because hope keeps you in losing positions. Hope keeps you waiting. Hope keeps you exposed. Not because hope is logical, but because hope feels better than loss. This is where smart people lose control. Not visibly, not dramatically, quietly, internally. Because their battle is no longer with the market. It's with themselves, their belief, their ego, their identity. And ego does not like being wrong. Ego defends. Ego delays. Ego denies. Until the market removes the choice completely. And when it's over, there is silence. Not confusion. Clarity. Clarity that intelligence was never the solution. Clarity that knowledge was never the protection. Clarity that the real skill was never prediction. It was control. Because the traders who survive are not the smartest. They are the most disciplined. They accept uncertainty. They accept loss. They accept reality quickly. They do not try to prove themselves right. They try to protect themselves from being wrong. And that difference changes everything. Because in the end, money doesn't care how smart you are. The market doesn't reward intelligence. It rewards control. Control over risk, control over emotion, control over yourself. And the moment you understand this is the moment you stop trying to outsmart the market and start learning how to survive it. This is Capital Era, and intelligence was never enough.